My favorite theme song is my theme song.
I've been wrestling for 7 years now.
I wrestle for multiple independent promotions.
Did a couple matches for ETWs where I started, which is East Tennessee Championships Wrestling.
Total Psychopathic Wrestling, KFW, ICWA.
I love every promotion that I go to.
Anyone that's good that makes money is obviously a great gimmick.
Robert Sell, the Joker.
What's up? It's your boy Rob with Wrestling with Robert, and today I'm going to be doing an interview with the current independent wrestler.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is James Anthony. You can find me on Facebook at James Anthony. You can find me on Twitter at 87 James Anthony. You can find me on Instagram at 1987 Jam. You know, what got me into wrestling was my uncle. You know, he was a big fan of Doom back when they were in WCW. That was Ron Simmons and Butch Reed. And then I got into the WWF, and I became a big fan of Hulk Hogan, The Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage. Later on, I got into Bret Hitman Hart and like all the other greats that came later on down the road. And those are some of the guys that got me into it. But I knew after watching WrestleMania 6, watching Hulk Hogan, The Ultimate Warrior, and that big title for title match, that wrestling is definitely something I wanted to do when I got a little older. I've been in the wrestling business for 10 years now. I started training back in 2010. I was trained by Steve Kern and Norman Smiley back at FCW, which is now known as NXT. I trained in what they call the beginner's class. It was what they taught you was the basics and all the wrestling fundamentals that you need just to get started. I also got a little bit of training from EC3. I also got a little bit of training from David Otunga, a few of those other guys that were down at FCW at that time who were just getting their big breaks on TV. And it was a great experience, and I wouldn't have rather had winter train anywhere else better. I wrestle for a lot of different wrestling companies. I wrestle for AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling up in Mount Airy, North Carolina. I also wrestle for Ring Wars Carolina in Lumberton, North Carolina, where I'm also the booker. I also wrestle for a lot of different independent promotions in Tennessee, Revolutionary Wrestling Alliance. I sometimes go out to SWF, that's Southern Wrestling Federation. And there's just other little different promotions that I do. But right now, we know during the pandemic, a lot of stuff's been shut down. So I just try to take as many bookings as I can to try to keep myself busy through these difficult times. My current interest theme is something that was custom made by a friend of mine that I worked with. Me and her were on break one day at lunch, and we were playing around with one of the apps on her phone. And she had asked me did I have an interest theme for wrestling, and I was told her I did, but I was trying to look for something new and something fresh. So this app that she had on her phone, I think it's called GarageBand. We started playing around with it, and for like 3 weeks, every day on our lunch break, we had an hour, so we would go out, sit in the car, and we would just put different sounds, different little tunes and everything together. And we came up with a nice little flow that I liked. We worked on it together. We both worked for Enterprise, so we call it the Enterprise Hustle. You know, I really don't have a favorite match. I've been in the ring with so many great talents, from legends to Hall of Famers to future Hall of Famers, and I wouldn't want to really leave anybody off the list, so I'll just say that I've wrestled some of the greatest up-and-comers. I've wrestled some of the best from the past, and I'm looking forward to wrestling even more great talent here in the future. You know, I don't know where I could see myself in 6 years. I just hope that in 6 years from now, I can be somewhere either booking at one of the major companies or even on a creative team somewhere, trying to help out the future of professional wrestling, or maybe even training some of the up-and-coming talent. If I could team with any wrestler, it'd be Macho Man Randy Savage. I was a big Randy Savage fan growing up, and always enjoyed all his matches. He was very real. He didn't play in the ring, and I just wish that he was still here. But yeah, that'd be one of them. There's a lot of wrestlers that I looked up to over the years. One of the wrestlers that I've idolized a lot, it's going to sound crazy, but it was CM Punk. CM Punk was very good on the mic, and I know a lot of my promos that I've done in the past. I tried to talk like him. I tried to make my promos realistic like his. Macho Man Randy Savage was somebody that I idolized. Bret Hart, 1, 2, 3 Kid. Sean Waltman, he really paved the path for a lot of these smaller wrestlers growing up. So, those are just a handful of guys, but, like I said, there's a lot. You start naming people, you'll leave somebody off, but like I said, I don't want to leave anybody off the list, but I just looked up to a lot of wrestlers over the years that have helped me with my career. The only advice that I can give to any up-and-coming teenager or kid who might want to be a wrestler one day, you gotta be tough. You gotta be willing to put in the work. It's not gonna be an easy road. Don't look at what you see on TV and think I can do that. That's what we all thought. It's tough. You gotta be coachable. Find a good school. Make sure it's worth every dime you put into it. Stick to it. Don't give up. Wrestling's not an easy life like everybody thinks.